No music, no screen, no response. This 2016 Cadillac CT6 came in with a dead radio and a blank display. But what we uncovered wasn't just a bad module, it was a communication breakdown. Let's crack into the wiring diagrams and figure out what's really going on. This is a wiring diagram, RPO code, service information rich video. There's not a lot of action. This is me deciphering what's going on, building a game plan on how to figure out what's wrong with this vehicle. Let's get into it. Okay, transmission fluid temperature sensor, performance, electronic brake control module. All right, so we got a bunch of codes here. History, amplifier, history, ECU hardware internal checksum error. DTC status current. So the amplifier has a problem. Body control module. Lost comms with speaker amplifier. HVAC, lost comms with the radio, current. Keyless entry. Passenger presence, radio controls. Telematics interface, communication interface control module. Lost comms with the radio. So what do we got here? Human machine interface control module. I'm pretty sure it has that. And there's no communication. Look at this. Radio, no communication. Let's start there. Oh. My keypad is not doing good today. Let's see here. Radio, QRS. Where's it at? Why am I not seeing it? Okay. Fantastic. Maybe it's here? Radio. Well, that's steering wheel. We need radio. All right, what do we got here? Radio. All right, so our radio, we have OnStar, telematics, schematics, and then we have a lot of CAN bus stuff going on here. A lot. So there's power and ground. We would have to start there, right? That's the simplest thing. Then we got a media disk, serial data. Media disk has power and ground. Okay, depending on which one we have, UWG or not, WCN. Let's find out. What do we have? WCN? No. UWG? No. WCN? No. UWG? No. Okay, that's weird. So we have an audio amplifier. I believe that the amplifier said, what did the amplifier say? Did we have fault codes for the amplifier? Yes, we did. And it says ECU internal checksum, ECU hardware internal checksum error. Okay, so we'll want to make sure that the power and grounds are good on that thing, which they probably are. Human machine interface, power and ground. Okay, we have no comms to the human machine interface control module. We're going to need to do that. It's G207. How about our radio? Media disk, radio, G305. But the power is fuse 45, 10 amp, rear fuse block. Fuse 30, rear fuse block. Okay. Well, that's the amplifier. Fuse 24, rear fuse block. Okay. So we may have something going on with that. Navigation, info display. The info display may or may not work. But we don't have comms to the, we have controls. The info display does not light up. We know that, but it doesn't mean that it's bad. Speaker types, speakers. My goodness. We got a lot of speakers, auxiliary inputs. Okay. I think what we're going to try and do is start out with the easiest stuff. Where is the radio? Let's type that in. Where is the radio? Let's figure out where that is, how to remove it. It's in the trunk. Perfect. He's already gained access to that. That's easy enough. Okay. What else are we trying to find? Where is, let's see here. Not the amplifier, but the human machine interface control module. This is normally not easy to get to. Okay. I just go to service and repair. You can go to locations. Yeah, sure. But service and repair is going to tell you what you got to do to take it out. It appears that it's behind the glove box. Oh, it's on the very, it's below the glove box. Okay, so this should be easy access for the most part. Let's give this a shot. What we're going to do is we're going to check powers and grounds to both of these. Probably to one of them. And if I have powers and grounds, more than likely what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for, I'm going to go to the rear, to the radio, because I know that that's easy access. And once we do the radio, we're going to check comms. I'm probably going to do comms, yeah. Simple. But powers and grounds, let's start there. What do we got? We got red and gray is pin number 1 on connector 1. And then we got black and white, pin number 11 on connector 1. So you guys can see that a little bit better. Let's do it. Okay, so we're going to use our medium test light. There is a 10 amp fuse attached to this, so I'm not going to put too big of a load on it. Won't need it. A regular low amp test light would have worked just fine. Get this set up. It's got small connectors. We're looking for black and white, red and gray, pins 1 and pins 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then that would be 11. It's these 2 end terminals here. Let's see if I can't get these checked. Come on, Bubba. Put the test light right there. And we got 1 and 2. Oh, and the test light is lit. So we have good power and ground. We either have bad radios or our comms. So let's get the lab scope out. All right, we're going to test the lab scope. We're going to hook up the power first. Okay, now we know that the lab scope is test lead is good. I'm going to check here and see if we got CW1. CW1 is on our diagram, CW1. So we're going to check and see if we have CW1. Oops. CW1. And we do not. So there's no point to look for that wire. I don't know about this one. I would assume that that one still has comms. That's a green wire. So we got green and blue and green, 13 and 14. Let's pull off of this power here. 13 and 14, right? This is 11. There's one space, 12, 13, and 14. So there is wiring there. Let's go ahead and check it out. Maybe it comes pre-wired just in case. But that's pin 14. And if you look, we have a signal. Let's zoom in a little bit and see what that signal looks like. Looks clean. We like it. Back out. Swap over to the next wire, which is pin 13. On pin 13, we have battery voltage. I don't know if that's good or bad, but being as how this car does not have CW1, it probably doesn't even matter. All right, so next is going to be, next we're going to do connector X2. I'm hoping to have you guys in a better spot now. Unplug this. Grab a front probe. This is comms. I want to make sure I have comms going to this connector. So the white and green, pin number 1, there's no comms. Let's look at pin number 2. No comms. How about pin 3? No comms. Pin 4, no comms. What do we got? Pin 6, 5, and 6. Battery voltage on pin 6, which it is some sort of a switched to ground thing. But there's no comms on these other traces. Now let's look at them plugged in. Could this be that the wiring isn't making it, or it's, you know, is there a wiring issue, or is there nobody else talking on the network? Still nothing. Still shorted to ground, or no talking at least. It appears that it's shorted to ground. Very interesting. All right, we're gonna have to do some research now. All right, going off of the radio, I didn't check the OnStar telematics, which is UE1, right? Let's go ahead and make sure we have UE1. Oh, we don't. So the human machine interface control module is not going to be there. Interesting. No UE1. Okay, and no CW1. I'm gonna double check CW1. CW1. Oh. Oh my goodness. CW1 we don't have. UE1. UE1 we do. That's what I was thinking. Communication. So GPS 1. Yes, we have the human machine interface control module. There's a chance that that's pulling it down. We'll have to look into that. That is on connector 1, yellow and black and yellow. But really, I'm wondering, like, how does this communication work? Where does it go? Who's on the network? We have our info display module here. Let's go to diagrams. Let's go to the information bus. What we're going to do is we're going to look for, this is a low speed GM LAN. So we got cluster, telematics, navigation, HVAC, info display, airbag, steering column, audio amplifier, front camera. Okay, park assists, seats, video processing control module. Is that it? No radio? All right. That's fine. Where's the radio at? This is the high-speed or powertrain CAN, high-speed GM LAN. Here we go. Audio amplifier, right down here, which we had communication with. It wasn't happy. Human machine interface control module. We have no comms. Body controller. Active safety control module. Let's see if we have this. UGN. UGN. We do not. So we go around that. Suspension control module, F55. We do not. So we go around that as well. Audio amplifier, UQH. And we do not. So we do not have this either. We do not have the amplifier. We do not have the suspension control module. We do not have the active safety control module. UE1, I think that we already confirmed that we have UE1. Yes, we do. And we have human machine. So we're going to look on the scan tool and see if we have the telematics communicating or not. So probably what's going on is we don't have any of this. So it goes to the body control module. It just does a loop right back over to the BCM. Okay. Pins 6 and 14. Yeah, of course. So G and H, we got splice packs like crazy. Front camera, headlight control module, electronic brake, transfer case, power steering, transmission, engine. All right, we know that we have comms to all of them. So it appears that we're going to have bad modules, most likely. Radio. This is a big one. Audio amplifier, instrument panel cluster, human machine interface control module, media disc player. This is the MOS bus. Infotainment control touchpad. Pins 4 and 3 where we had nothing. Okay. But we had nothing. I don't see terminating resistors in here anywhere. One and 2, we had nothing. Now, do we have UQH, UQA, or UQS? QH? QA? Yes, we do. UQA. So we have UQA. So we do have an audio amplifier. Well, obviously, it said it was corrupt. Huh. And that goes into the media disc player. Where is that located? UGN UVZ. UGN VZ. No. Okay. So media disc player. Where are you located, my friend? Media disc player UWG. No. That's without. No, I want to know where it's at. Where's removal in place? I said media disc player, please. Not. I went to testing on accident. That's my own fault. Let's see. Is it down here? Nope. Nope. Let's see if we can do Control F. Here we go. Media disc player is 7 or, yeah, is 7. 7. Right here in the rear of the center console. Interesting. Very interesting. So many RPO codes. WCN. Do we have WCN? Man. No, we don't. So that's without WCN. So it appears to just skip right over to here. It doesn't go into the media disc player. Here we have UWG, right? Sorry, I have to check again. I'm just forgetting UWG. And we do not. So we don't go in, we don't have a media disc player. So we got infotainment control pad. So we go from the radio to the audio amplifier to X383. Interesting. And then we go to the infotainment control touchpad, to the instrument cluster, over to the human machine interface control module, which we had no comms to this and no comms to this. We did have comms to this. Now this most bus is how they communicate with one another. But how do we communicate with them? Communications enable, human machine interface control module, telematics, and this is the SRS. So that's most likely good. I think we had all of them. Audio amplifier. Audio amplifier, this is communication enable on the most. Infotainment control, media displayer, instrument cluster, human machine. All right. I believe this was the battery voltage out, X2 pin 6. Connector 2 pin 6. I believe that did have power on it. So that was, wait a minute. They couldn't have power on it. It was unplugged when I checked it, I do believe. All right, we gotta get out of the truck and go do some testing. All right, what we're interested in is white and violet, pin 6 on connector 2. White and violet, that's this one down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're gonna see what this pin 6 has while it's unplugged. And there's battery voltage. Now let's plug it in. Still battery voltage. I find that weird, but it is what it is. We have battery voltage somehow. So the MUS bus is being enabled. I assume there just is no communication. Suspension control module. Let's hit pause here. Let me come over and see, did we have suspension? No, telematics. Yes, we have telematics and it says lost comms with the radio. Man, we got to go to the human machine interface control module and figure out what's going on with that. Okay, so what we're dealing with is pin 13, 14, 11, and 12 on connector number 1. So 13 and 14, which are blue and white. That should be simple enough to find those, right? Blue and white, they're probably right next to one another. I'm gonna go ahead and unplug this just for testing purposes. We'll plug it back in once I identify exactly which wires they are. Come on now, here we go. Huh, makes you wonder why it's wrapped up the way that it is. Let's get that out the way. Come here. Come here, my friend. Okay. Like I said, 13 and 14. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. It's the last ones. Let's push this up. If I haven't said it before, I'm going to say it now. These fill probes are just the absolute best. Durable, rugged, precise. Everything you can like about a test probe, Phil designed it. We do have communication. You zoom out a little bit. We do have it. It's there on pin, the white one, which is pin 14. So that's coming from the body control module. Now let's see if we have it on this one. And we do. We see the high speed. Right, let's zoom in and let's see how pretty it is. Pretty enough for me, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you that right now. It looks good enough. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna plug this back in and then we're gonna get on the wires that are coming out. Right? Now let's test the wiring coming out of the human machine interface control module. Look, we have comms. We have comms. Now I'm going to unplug it again. So now I'm curious. Now what we would want to see is that the comms go away. Okay, no, they don't go away. But now we have a single module on the network trying to talk to somebody. It's just talking its butt off, you know? So cool. Now we know that the other module is talking, which is the telematics. So we have our powers and grounds, but we have no communication to this human machine interface control module. I do believe that we need this in order for the radio to work. All right, so just a little quick recap. We have comms on both sides of this, and we have communication to the telematics unit. We just don't have communication to this human machine interface. Now they haven't messed with the human machine interface to my knowledge. The waveform looks good. So now what we want to know is, let's look at some other stuff here. Low speed. Let's see, is the human machine interface on the low speed network? HVAC controls, info, telematics is, cluster is. Okay, I don't see it there. We don't have UQH. I'm gonna triple check that. UQH. We do not. I just have to, there's so many RPO codes, I gotta constantly go back and forth and make sure because I don't write it down. This is high speed, SRS, wheel bearings active, suspension control, parking, power steering, okay. This is again powertrain, it's not us. The most bus. This is us, but I'm gonna be honest. Okay. Okay, human machine. Let's check and see what we got on this. We got pins 8 and 9, 3 and 2 on connector 2. So it's the opposing connector. Gray and violet, white and green, gray and violet, white and green. I want to see what's coming in and going out of these wires, if it's just shorted, if there's no talking. So I got to peel back this tape. I do it all day, every day, peeling back tape, peeling back tape. Okay. Now, get this stuff out of here. They got stuff everywhere in this vehicle. Stuff's everywhere. Okay, like I said, pins 2 and 3, white and green, gray and violet. Now I'm gonna go ahead and unplug this real quick because it seems to be twisted up a little bit. I want to untwist it, spread my wires apart. Now we got pins 2 and 3. So we got the white and green and the gray and violet. Yep, that's correct. Okay. Let's plug back in. When I do that, it twists up my wires. Man, the Phillips probe is just so good. It's just so good. Okay, and we see our waveform is nothing again. So what is this one? Let me see, let's unplug it now. Still nothing. I'm scared that this is literally shorted to ground because there's nothing happening on that wire. Let me try 8 and 9, which are the same color wires, but so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay. Literal same color wires. Thread the needle, but yet we have nothing. And again, there's nothing. Well, let me check over here and make sure I got, something on that. My Teslas are still good. Yep, we got battery voltage. So it's not my Teslas, it's just there's nothing. So we know what's going on. We're just not 100% sure on the call. Yeah, nothing. But we do know what's going on. We have the most bus enabled, but we have no talking on the most bus whatsoever. I wonder if it's the cluster. Let me get back on here on one of these back wires like so. I'm going to unplug this, and then we're going to unplug the radio, and I want to see if we get talking back. Unplug our radio, and we have no talking still nothing. Which tells me what? The audio amplifier. Where is that located? Oh, come on. There sure is a lot of those. Audio amplifier. Luggage compartment left. Left rear, behind trim panel mounted to the floor. Here we go. Whoa, that's hot. I mean, it's got big fins on it, but dang, man, that sucker's hot. Look at this. What is that? There's like, is this a flood car? No, it doesn't appear to be. There's like dust all over this thing. Maybe it's been repaired. Probably has been. Okay. Audio amplifier. Let's unplug this. Still no talking. Just no talking at all. Unfortunately, I've hit my time limit. I don't have an answer for these people. If I do get the opportunity to come up with an answer and finish this diag, we're going to do it. But it appears that there is a short on the most bus. I'm not 100% sure about that. I could absolutely be wrong, but that's what it appears. So I don't want to change any modules yet. I don't know what it is. It might be this cluster. I don't know. I don't know at this time. So we'll figure it out though. With no bias voltage and zero communication on the lines, it's clear we've got a deeper issue on our hands. But we're out of diagnostic time for today. The customer agreed to continue, so stay tuned for part 2 where we dig even deeper and aim for a resolution.